What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, we're back at it for part 2 of the video series that I like to title The Forest Hunter's Oath. Now, like I said before, even though that's the name of this 2-part series, I think I'm going to make this an ongoing series anytime I'm kind of in the forest. Right, and actually playing the role as a forest hunter. I know some of you guys may say, dude, you're not playing the role of a forest hunter now. Well, yeah, that's true. See, the thing is, what my original intent was to go ahead and do part 1 with me forest hunting, and for part 2 to be me playing as a lone host. But, you know, in all honesty, playing a forest hunter is more exciting in my personal opinion. And here's why. Now, granted, you can get double teamed as a lone host, but it's very rare that you get simultaneous forest hunters invasions, right? And in other words, you're more likely to invade 2 people than you are to be a host and have 2 hunters come at you at the same time. Now, granted, you might be in a situation where you fight one, and then here you come, you know, some other ridiculous homeboy coming after you. Yeah, after maybe, 30 seconds, maybe a minute or so. Very rare is it a few short seconds after. But you're more likely, in my personal opinion, to invade as a forest hunter and catch 2 people than what you would have as a lone host. Alright, so that's why, I kind of started off hosting, but I said, man, this is kind of boring. I kind of want some excitement. Because in my personal opinion, fighting gankers is kind of exciting. Right now, granted, it can be frustrating. Right, I'm not going to sit here and say, everything is all about smiles and having fun. No, because it can be frustrating, especially when you're in a situation where you know that you're better than the people that you're fighting against. But, like I was talking about last week, sometimes, just having 2 people there with the seemingly infinite flasks, eventually you're just going to die in a lot of cases. Right? Because it is very difficult. Because the funny thing about it is, like I've said plenty of times before, I read these comments about these guys who talk about my tactics. And it's so funny that I say to myself, you know what? In other words, it's almost like one of those situations where, it doesn't matter what I'm faced against. My tactics will always be criticized. Despite the fact that I'm not using Hornet Rings, not using Dark Bead, not using anything overpowered. I'm not doing anything overpowered. Right? Despite all of that, I'll be the one getting the criticisms because of my tactics. Well, you know what, guys? Screw you for all of you dudes to have something to say about my tactics during 2v1s. Because at the end of the day, I feel good about it. And a lot of people who have been in the forest themselves and have experienced the nightmare that it can be understand what it's like. Because one thing I'm starting to realize is that a lot of people who have these criticisms are under some strange belief that the honor code, is not conditional. Because I'll read comments where these guys say, I just don't backstab, no matter what the situation, because that's how honorable I am. I'm just so honorable that I'll just never do anything like that. Well, guess what? You're limiting yourself, dude, bottom line. Because, especially when you're using strength weapons, or, something other than a spear or a halberd, or a ridiculous gold tracer. As long as you're using something other than that, it is definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. Right? Because, as a matter of fact, I remember the other day, I was fighting some guy. He was a lone host. And actually, he beat me twice. And, he was basically using a gold tracer. And then after that, he had the audacity. Yeah, see? Beating him to a pulp with that mace. He had the audacity to leave me a comment saying, dude, you're a scrub. I just beat you twice with a gold tracer. And I'm thinking to myself like, dude, the gold tracer is 100% easy mode. 100%. That gold tracer is probably the most OP weapon in the game. And we're not going to even talk about these guys that'll have like 100 poise or at least 76 poise, right? Because they know that they can sit here and sustain hits. You know, I mean, I know some of you guys have heard me talk in the past about false confidence, and that's really what it is. In other words, you've equipped yourself with so much poise that you don't have to think about being careful. You don't have to think about strategically placing your hits. You don't have to think about any of that because you know that you could just sit here and tank all the damage. May it be from a rapier, a katana, a greatsword, or an ultra great sword. You know that you guys with all your little 98 poise and 88 poise and 105 poise and in some cases 121 poise, you can tank just about anything. So that's 100% easy mode for you gold tracer dudes that want to sit up here and, you know, praise the sun after you beat somebody. Get off it, dude. That gold tracer is so OP, it's ridiculous. Not only does it inflict a lot of damage, but you can get bleed build up when you're not even getting hit. Not even getting hit. Shout out to this guy. I've had a series of matches with this guy, and actually every time I fought him, he was a lone host. So shout out to him. He's one of these few guys who can brave it out. And actually, it's him, and I think there was a guy that you guys have seen me fight before. He was using, looks like the tattered armor. Right, and I think he was like a pyro mage. Shout out to that guy too. He was pretty good. He was pretty handy dandy with that pyro slash was that moonlight greatsword combination. And actually, that was a good parry. I didn't think he was going to parry me because if you guys notice, I was playing unlocked, and I figured that it was dead angling, but I guess he had me right at the right moment. Right, and I guess the positioning was right relative to the way he was facing me. Right, so that was a good parry right there. And actually, speak of the devil, here's the guy. This guy is pretty good. I kind of ran into this guy on a number of occasions. So shout out to you and the guy that I just previously fought. You guys are doing pretty good in that forest all by yourself. All right, and now one thing that I have definitely experience more so during the little time that I've been on Xbox as opposed to the PS3. I've run into a lot more unlocked playing. Right? A lot more unlocked playing. Because if you guys were noticing this guy's tactic, he was just kind of running around in a circle. He was doing some unlocked playing. Right? So, you know, me facing those type of dudes, it kind of forced me to kind of switch up some of my tactics with regard to that unlocked playing. Right? Because, in other words, when it comes to PvP, you see, this guy right here, don't bow to me, dude. Come on, dude, you guys are ganking. And like I said before, just in case you guys are listening and you may be saying to yourself, how mean can you be? I was just saying what's up. Understand, dude, but, you know, say what's up to me afterward, because you guys are ganking. I have no love, right? If I see two guys in the forest, I have absolutely no love. I am far more likely to return a gesture to a lone host than what I will ever do to a host and a phantom. Ever. Almost guaranteed. Plenty of times I've run into guys all by themselves and I'll say, man, you know what, this guy's kind of braving it out. You know, I'll give him a wave or something like that. Now keep in mind, I would not be right next to him. Right? I would definitely be at a distance, because just because someone may extend a courtesy doesn't mean that they will allow you to extend the same courtesy without punishment. Right? You guys have to remember, I've been on PS3 for a long time and there's a whole bunch of tricksters out there. Alright, so this is, I know some of you guys may say, hold on, where's the brigade build? Well, dude, I figured that I would do a little experimenting, right? Shout out to good old RB Frosty. He kind of has this onion head build that he has with the, I think he's using like chainmail or something. And it's an interesting looking build. So I said, you know what? I've seen a few guys using these little groovy Katarina helmed builds. So I'm going to go ahead and use one, right? So this will be the armor set that I will use for my strength build. And actually, I have 3 armor sets that I use for my male characters. 3. These will be the only armor combinations, at least up to this point, that I'm going to use, right? Because I really don't do a lot of mix and matching. A lot of my builds basically look the same because I just like the way they look. So that will be this particular setup for my strength build. The other armor selection that I use, with the Elite Knight and the Chester's chest. And then the other one that I use where I'm using the steel helm and the Silver Knight's leggings. Alright, those will be my 3 armor selections for my male characters. So, I like to give a thanks and shout out to everyone who has made contributions and has showed mad love to me on Xbox. Shout out to Crunchy. Crunchy has helped me create my strength build, and actually this is the build that I have right now because to the extent that you guys are not familiar, I am actually brand new to Xbox. I just got it on the 26th of December. So basically, I had to start from scratch, and to the guy that helped me out last week with my Dex build, and good old Crunchy, who helped me out greatly with the completion of this strength build. Right, I like to just send out a formal thanks to everyone who has helped. Now, I'm probably going to create 2 more builds. Shout out to good old Elite. That guy, I swear to God, that dude is a heck of a hotshot PvP. Now look at this guy. Before I continue to talk about Elite, this is what I mean about gankers. Now this guy's a 100% cowardice ganker. Now see, when it's him and his buddy, he was going 100 miles and running. Now look at what he's doing. Come on, dude, get off it. You get no love. 100% no love. Take that backstab with the Black Knight Great Axe, bro. So like I was saying, shout out to Elite. Dude, that guy has this dragon build that is like out of this world, and I know a lot of you Xbox Twitch bros know about it. Shout out to is the Fridge, right? Because from what I understand, good old Elite was on a fight club with Is the Fridge, and from what I hear, he was dominating like nearly everybody. And actually, you guys are going to see that build. I'm going to feature it in the Battle of the Builds myself against good old Elite. And actually, that's another one of those situations. Now, in some cases, I say I get beat down, and I kind of don't really get beat down. But, in some instances, like, Hell Servant, he kind of really gave me a beat down. And this matchup that you're going to see between myself and Elite, that is a 100% beatdown. I think out of like 25 matches, I think it's like a 2-part video I did. I think I beat him like 5 times, like literally. I mean, that guy took the dragon build to like a level that I have not seen. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, there's a lot of risks that come with the dragon form. Now, granted, in a lot of situations, you have to measure and weigh your risk versus reward, and in a lot of cases it's too much risk when it comes to that dragon form. Alright, so look, what do we have again? This is what I mean by cowards. You see, when it was him and his phantom, what was he doing? Now look at him. I have no respect for these clowns. Now he want to give me his back. No, dude, taste my Black Knight halberd to the spine. Right? To the spine. Alright, now another thing that I want to talk about. Shout out to a lot of the people who have sent me messages and said that they want to have a few matchups. Now, I guess there's some things going on with Xbox that I am not familiar with regard to, well, actually, I guess there's some things with regard to Xbox that I'm not familiar with because I'm new to it, right? I guess there's something called NAT code or something like that. I don't even know what it is, but there's some guys that I can connect with. Shout out to Mr. I Won't Forget. I just did a series with him, and actually we might have to do that one twice. Right, because he was sick, and actually it was a battle of the uploaders, and I'm gonna ask him, does he want me to upload that? Because if not, I won't upload it. So I'll ask him. Now, if he wants me to, I will. But maybe we'll go at it another time. So shout out to good old Mr. I Won't Forget. But I brought his name up because I was able to connect with him, but I wasn't able to connect with Sunlight Blade. I wanted to have a battle of the uploaders with Sunlight Blade, but unfortunately I couldn't. There's another guy. His gamer tag kind of starts with an H. I can't really remember because it's kind of long. I can't really remember, but I know we attempted on several occasions too. So for a lot of you guys, I don't really know what's up with the connection. Some guys I can connect with and other guys I can't. Good old Sunlight Blade is in the UK. For whatever reason, I can't connect with him. Elite, on the other hand, is over in Finland, and I can connect with him. There's another guy who a lot of people acknowledge is a super duper good player. Shout out to good old Demon. For some reason, I can't connect with him. Right, and he's in the States from what I understand. So I'm not really understanding. I don't know if, I've heard somebody talking about opening ports and all this old nonsense. And the thing is, because I don't have a problem with ports and all of that on PS3, now granted, it may take a little longer to connect, but eventually, I've been able to connect with pretty much anyone who I've attempted to connect with on the PS3. So I'm not really familiar with, NAT codes and opening ports and all this old other nonsense that come with the Xbox. So, to the extent that I, familiarize myself with some of that, hopefully I will be able to connect with some of you guys. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just on the other side saying something failed. No, dude. I really don't know what's going on with it. So once I figure out what's up with the ports and NAT codes and all this other stuff that I'm not familiar with, hopefully I will be able to connect with a lot of you. Alright, so I guess that guy was under the impression that because he was wielding a fast swinging weapon that it couldn't be parried, but that guy must not have known that I have a parry video, dude. Right? Those fast swinging weapons can be parried on the second swing. And now he's running. You see what I'm talking about? Ugh. These guys get on my nerves. But in all fairness, he did get parried twice. Now, I don't understand why he's wasting a ring slot on his little high-speed silent boots. His little silent shoes there. But, whatever, dude. It is what it is. He was by himself, I guess. Alright. Part 2 of the series. So, let me see. I think I covered a lot of things. Talking about guys that I couldn't connect with. That ridiculous gold tracer I can't stand. Oh, and talking about my build. So like I said before, I think after having that Battle of the Build series with good old Elite, I will create a dragon build, because you guys are going to see real soon that dragon form is absolutely awesome. The damage output potential, awesome. As a matter of fact, I've never seen anyone use a dragon form in the way that Elite did, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will be as pleased and impressed with the build as I was. Right, so once again, for a lot of you guys that may not be familiar, I have a Battle of the Build series wherein I feature a lot of what I would consider unique builds. Now, a unique build doesn't have anything to do with stats, guys. Because I'll get some guys, they'll say, oh, I want to feature, I have a unique build, and, I'll ask them, what's unique about it, and they'll give me the stats. It's not the stats, guys. It's basically weapon selection. and the way that you use your build, right? Because if you guys pay attention to a lot of the videos that I have in the Battle of the Build playlist, you guys will notice that those aren't the type of builds that you see in a lot of cases, right? You don't see a lot of faith mages run around in the form that was demonstrated by good old Godly. You know, you don't see spear users in the form that you saw demonstrated by good old Brody. You don't, at least I don't run into a lot of guys who use the Haven's Butcher, right? When good old Haven used the Butcher's Knife with the regeneration and everything else, or Akeem's status effects build, or any other build that I've used. Very rare do you run into those guys, and that's why I have the Battle of the Build series to showcase builds so as to spark player creativity and imagination. Now, let's just take a quick look at this match, and you guys will notice why I think katanas are easy mode. And actually, I don't know if this is a good example, because I think he beat me one time. I can't really remember. Oh, actually, I beat him on this one. Maybe the next time I run into a good katana users, I'll kind of draw you guys' attention to it. But I don't know. I just really think those katanas are easy mode. Now, like I said before, don't have any gripes. You guys have your weapons. You can choose whatever you want. It is just of my opinion that, you know, I mean, if you're using an easy mode weapon, I mean, you're good to go. But just take your win and move on. Don't brag about it. You really do not have to try hard with the easy mode Gold Tracer, katana, or spear. Now, I'm not saying that those weapons are, you know, noob proof, right? Because you can be horrible at katanas. Oh, shout out to this guy, because every time I fought him, like I said before, he was kind of like all by himself, so he braves it out. So guys like this, I would definitely return a gesture, you know, if he were to initiate one, especially after seeing him on several occasions, for which I ran into him on several occasions. Right, I have more respect for guys like this than what I would have for any ganker that would bow on any occasion, right? Because I run into plenty of gankers who bow. Get no respect, dude. Just be a ganker. Be annoying and die. Don't bow. That was a nice parry right there. And actually, because he wasn't really throwing out a lot of attempts, I kind of got overconfident, and he made me pay for it. But guess what? You forgot your NyQuil there, homie. Right? You forgot your NyQuil. You died of poison. Or Benadryl, rather. One of those. Alright, so what do we have here? Dragon Sound. So we have a full Black Knight. So I'm going to use your own weapon against you there, hero. Yeah, go ahead and take that and unlock rolling R1 attack. Alright, so he's going to attempt to flask it up. I'm just going to give him a quick punish for it. And Lord knows I love that Black Knight Halberd. That weapon is awesome. Well, alright guys, this is pretty much it. One more clip and that'll be the end of part 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I won't really add any commentary. I think I did enough rambling in the 2-part series. So, until next time, Martyrs Brigade.